The unexpected collapse of the Celtics. What really happened? It was supposed to be just another routine win at TD Garden. The Boston Celtics faced off against the Chicago Bulls. Everything seemed under control. But what unfolded that night was nothing short of a nightmare for Celtics fans. What went wrong? Are the Celtics losing their edge? From the start, something felt off. The Celtics struggled to find their rhythm against an opponent equally reliant on high-volume three-point shooting. Even with individual talent keeping the game within reach, the tension grew with every passing minute. Victory was within grasp, but one mistake could change everything, and it did. In the fourth quarter, with the Celtics just 3 points behind the Bulls, the unexpected struck. 2 game-changing technical fouls, one on coach Joe Mazzulla and another on star Jaylen Brown, practically sealed the fate of an epic comeback. After the game, referee Tony Brothers explained that the calls were due to repeated questioning of the officiating's integrity. Yet, for the players and fans, it felt like sheer helplessness. The impact was immediate. Kristaps Porzingis, reflecting on the events, stated, "It wasn't our best moment. We needed to stay calm because the game was still within reach." Despite the loss, Porzingis delivered a solid performance, scoring 20 points, grabbing 8 rebounds, and blocking 3 shots. Jason Tatum shone with 31 points and a double-double, but on the other side, Zach LaVine was unstoppable, dropping 36 points to lead the Bulls to victory. Now, the Celtics, with a 21-6 record, remain strong contenders in the East but are beginning to feel the pressure from the conference-leading Cleveland Cavaliers. Meanwhile, the Bulls, riding a 3-game winning streak, are emerging as a surprising threat. But the story doesn't end here. The rematch is already set, tomorrow at the United Center. Can the Boston Celtics turn the page? Or will this loss mark the beginning of something bigger? And what about you? Do you believe the Celtics can bounce back? Or are we witnessing the start of an unexpected crisis? The night the Celtics stumbled and left fans speechless. It was supposed to be a night to solidify the Boston Celtics' dominance, but it turned into a nightmare of unimaginable proportions. TD Garden was packed, the atmosphere was electric, and fans were eager for a victory against the Bulls. Yet, what unfolded in that game will go down as one of the most controversial and frustrating moments of the season. Are you ready to uncover what really happened? From the opening minutes, something felt off. The league's most efficient three-point shooting team simply couldn't find the mark. With every missed attempt, the tension grew, and the cheers from the crowd began to shift into murmurs of concern. Jason Tatum tried to keep the team in the game with his trademark precision, but the rest of the squad seemed utterly lost. Why were the Celtics failing at what they do best? By the third quarter, there was still hope. It was a neck-and-neck battle, with Tatum and Porzingis attempting to spark a comeback. The tension in the arena was palpable. The Celtics even managed to carve out a slight lead, but in just 2 minutes, the Bulls completely took over. Fueled by an inspired Zach LaVine, Chicago unleashed a 12-point run that left the Celtics reeling. Then came the turning point. A controversial call by the referees triggered an explosive reaction from coach Joe Mazzulla and Jaylen Brown. 2 consecutive technical fouls, a devastating blow to any hopes of a comeback. The frustration was written all over their faces. Brown didn't hold back, stating, "What kind of game allows this?" It was nothing short of a joke. With each passing minute, defeat felt inevitable. Despite Tatum's brilliant 31-point performance and a solid contribution from Porzingis, the Bulls maintained control, closing the game with a 117-108 victory. Now, with their lead in the Eastern Conference threatened by the Cavaliers and the Bulls proving to be more than just an average opponent, the Celtics' future suddenly feels uncertain. The real question is, how did a team this dominant let everything fall apart on such a critical night? The next battle is tomorrow at the United Center. Will the Celtics rise again, or was this just the first of many unexpected collapses? NBA Pool Report reveals referees' perspective on Celtics' string of technical fouls. The tension was palpable at TD Garden. The Boston Celtics faced off against the Chicago Bulls in a heated matchup that ended in a 117-108 loss for the home team. Yet, the spotlight didn't shine solely on the players. It shifted to the officiating. In a pivotal fourth quarter, 3 Celtics figures, head coach Joe Mazzulla, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, were handed technical fouls by referee Justin Van Dine. The calls not only disrupted the game but also ignited a wave of frustration that would ripple through the Celtics camp. A game-changing sequence. It began with Mazzulla, whose technical foul came with 5:12 remaining in the fourth quarter. Moments later, Jaylen Brown followed suit, and then, 2 minutes later, Jason Tatum was called. The timing of these infractions couldn't have been worse for the Celtics, as they saw a manageable 3-point deficit balloon to an 8-point gap. Jaylen Brown didn't hold back in his post-game remarks, sharply criticizing the officiating. Brown's frustration resonated with the Celtics fans, but the referees were quick to defend their actions. Crew chief Tony Brothers addressed the situation in a pool report, offering the officiating crew's perspective. What really happened? The technical fouls served as a turning point, not just in the game but also in the Celtics' momentum. A competitive battle spiraled into frustration and missed opportunities. The question lingers: were these calls truly justified, or did they undermine the spirit of the game? Saturday night brings a rematch between these two teams at the United Center in Chicago. The Celtics have a chance to reclaim their rhythm, but with tensions high and a bitter taste from their last encounter, how will the officiating shape this next chapter? Are we witnessing a crack in the foundation of NBA officiating, or will the Celtics rise above and let their game do the talking? Could Jrue Holiday be on the move? The Boston Celtics have established themselves as one of the NBA's elite teams this season, building on last year's championship triumph. With a strong core already in place, the likelihood of significant changes to their roster seems slim, especially with the restrictive parameters of the new CBA. But what if the Celtics were to consider a bold move? One scenario gaining attention involves trading Jrue Holiday, a key piece in their rotation, in exchange for a rising star big man and increased wing depth. Breaking down the hypothetical blockbuster. In this proposed trade, the Celtics would join forces with the Los Angeles Clippers and Utah Jazz to execute a 3-team deal. Clippers receive Jrue Holiday and John Collins. Jazz receive PJ Tucker, Derrick Jones Jr., Terrence Mann, multiple draft picks from both the Celtics and Clippers, including a coveted 2030 first-round pick. Celtics receive Walker Kessler and Norman Powell. The Clippers would use this trade to amplify their chances in the Western Conference, adding Holiday as a floor general to complement Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. Collins would provide additional size and versatility, rounding out their front court. The Jazz, meanwhile, would offload Collins' contract and secure a treasure trove of draft capital. Their future focus would be clear, bolstered by the flexibility this deal provides. For Boston, the benefits and risks are profound. Moving Holiday's $30 million annual salary would create much-needed financial breathing room under the stringent new CBA. At the same time, acquiring Walker Kessler could be a game-changer, giving the Celtics a budding star at the center position to anchor their defense. But losing Holiday's veteran presence isn't something to overlook. His leadership and defensive acumen have been pivotal in maintaining Boston's position atop the league. A shift in strategy or a gamble? This trade would also signal a shift in Boston's rotation, potentially giving rising talent Peyton Pritchard a bigger role. But the real question remains: is this a risk worth taking for a team already in championship contention? As we approach the trade deadline, the Celtics must grapple with a challenging dilemma. Should they hold firm with their proven core or take a calculated gamble to secure future flexibility and a dynamic new asset? And if Boston does pull the trigger, what will it mean for their title aspirations this season? Hey Celtics fanatics! What do you think of this news? Leave your opinion in the comments, as it's highly valued.